Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with My Hero Academia more. So this is the final, I guess, conclusion epilogue, I'm assuming, for the story. Like I reacted to My Hero Academia when it was airing. And the final season, or the final episode, I would say, in the end had little bit of like what happened afterwards with Deku and everyone, and I felt like it was not really enough. Like they just quickly skimmed through a few sections and it felt incomplete. So I'm hoping this episode kind of like fleshes it out, and yeah, like we get like a proper conclusion. It's like a 23 minutes video, so it has enough time to properly conclude My Hero Academia, a show that has been going on for such a long time. So yeah, let's see what this is about and how they conclude the story. So let's begin. Now I will be putting the timer over here. Sync the timer to the video and watch it alongside me on reaction. I'm not putting the subtitles because my channel got into a little bit of trouble. It's still going through that trouble a little bit unless and until the trouble gets resolved. I'm not putting subtitles or anything. So like just like sync the timer with the video and watch it along my reaction. And yeah, let's begin. So let's get started. Right, so My Hero Academia more. Here's the countdown. Three, two, one, go. Okay, what's going on here? Is this a dream? Looks like. Oh, yeah, it is a dream, obviously. Damn. Critical points in a common true student. Okay. Oh, wait, this has an opening. Okay. 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 Nice. That was a really good. Okay. Oh. Oh, he's number one. Wonder number seven. Iron Eater side. Okay. Number 24. Okay. Hmm. 34. Roppy. Hmm. Okay. Things are going well. Talking to the Minister of Education. mm, damn! Do the thing. Oh no, is it gonna do the thing? Yep. Right. Yeah. Alright. That is crazy. What in the. Yeah? Right. Damn! Oi! That is crazy. Okay. Alright. Nah, man. You need to chill. Pick the. Ah, bruh. Hmm. Wait, is that Deku on the left? I was thinking too small. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Oh. Wow. Yeah. I guess it's like lingering. Damn. That that reflection on the window. Hmm. What in the. Oh. Damn. Yeah. Red right. Number 12. Oh, fat is 11. Yeah, they were like, I forgot what, like the research or something. Wait, number four. Wait, what? Yeah, for 4 to 15. And then, wow, that is funny. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, but that's more like a. Hmm. He would have done the same. Oh, yeah, I guess. I didn't clock it. Well, I didn't understand either. Wow, that's actually pretty deep. Yeah. Is it because of Yoritomi bitter? Oh, number two. Damn. So he's just under Lemillion. AC hero. Number 44. Bruh. 36. Ingenium. 13. 19. He is awarded for things for philanthropic work. Ah, good. Okay, so Tentacle is 9. Okay, what is his rank? 108. 28, 30, 99, 32, 17. Okay. Nice. Number 5, Best Genius. Miracle 6, damn. Wow, she's 3. Okay. Coming with 4. Wash. 42, okay. Riku 40. 45. I guess makes sense. Oh, these guys. Damn, Monoma's. Okay, it's still Wizardy. Kami. Okay, I'll go back through this part again later. I'm the darkness. Oh my god. Hmm. Damn. What? Wow. Damn. Who the hell is Kurohiro? Oh yeah, they mentioned it in the previous. Right. Yeah, that's what Bakugo was telling him that, like, all right. Oh, okay. Okay. Damn. That's a bit overkill for one. Everyone's going. What the hell? For one? Okay, this is crazy. For these guys, this is the first time, like. Bro, all the top 50 heroes are are actually chasing you guys. That is crazy. Except Mineta, he's not top 50, but What the hell? For us? All these. It's a bit of overkill, isn't it? Bruh. Alright, bruh. Yeah? No, damn, nice. For a bad exam. Is that why they call him? So he's the guy like, oh, don't be like him. Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say. Damn. Oh, there he is. Oh, is she remembering? Oh. Well, that's a roundabout way of confessing. Hmm. Yeah. I guess it's because like would have been that day. Yeah. Okay. When he got his mecha arm or whatever. Okay. Well, that's how he. Okay. Aw. Is this why he made his car backseat that fluffy? Because everyone just. Damn. Alright. You know what? That was a good conclusion. Like, the final episode felt too short. Like, it already had its own thing going on. And, like, there was like a last 10 minutes they just put for the ending. And I was like, what the hell is this? Like, come on. Like, a show that has been going on for so long. Like, you're just going to keep the ending like that? Like it feels incomplete. So, this is way better. Like, one full episode for, like, a proper conclusion. This is a lot better. Like, we actually saw them talk to each other and everything. Like, the final episode of My Hero Academia felt like they like were like, oh, like the only one who talked at the end was Deku and Bakugo, and everyone else was just okay. That's it. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. Like, in the final episode of My Hero Academia, there is, I think, episode 170. This is 171 if you include this. Um, it felt like there was like the last 10 minutes, which they just kept for like, oh, what happened to everyone after like a time skip, and they were like, oh, Deku and everyone was too damn busy to meet each other. and then suddenly like All Might comes and he's like, all right, I got this thing from you, like, and Deku's like, all right, now I can become a hero again. Then Bakugo came in and talked to him a little bit, and then we saw the shot of all the heroes together and they're just going to save the day again. That's it. That felt so incomplete. Like, like the whole show was about friendship and everything and how like teamwork and everything, and then they barely talked at the final epilogue. I'm like, what the hell is this? It felt so weird to me. This is way better. Like, they at least gave like a whole episode for what happened after that. Each and every one of them, even if each and every one of them didn't talk with each other, but they were together. They were like having like a little, get together party and all that. And like they at least like kind of interacted with each other, and it felt way more fleshed out. So, and obviously like obviously there wasn't like really like a conclusion to like the whole Deku Ochako thing, but it was still like a good like like way place to kind of like conclude it. Like they talk to each other at least in the end, and you can see in today's episode like as you can see, like the whole thing with Ochako was like the reason why she didn't really keep in touch with Deku that much is because of, I guess you could say, obviously they were busy. Like they themselves said, like after like the whole like situation, everyone got busy with their own thing. Deku, like like got busy with his own thing. Ochako became way more uh kind of like swamped in with work. Like like she became like this counselor, the teacher, and everything. And like they were busy with their own thing, and now finally they got like a little bit of time for themselves. Like the things are kind of settling down, because like after the all for one situation, like there's a lot of time that it probably took for things to stabilize. Like probably like like things were in a disarray, like people were like in a way. So it took time for, and obviously they are heroes, they had to contribute over there as well, and on top of that do their own job. So I guess it makes sense they couldn't really talk to each other, but yeah, and maybe they just kept in touch with like phone and like like some like text messages or whatever. But after things settled down, you can see like Ochako still didn't really kind of like meet up with Deku or talk with Deku, because of, I guess you could say, in a way, survivor's guilt, probably, with the whole thing with Himiko, because that was the thing. Like like in the end, the way Himiko kind of died, like by giving her blood for Ochako, and Ochako was like kind of blaming herself, if you remember, saying like like if I properly like somehow was able to like protect myself, if that didn't happen, Himiko wouldn't have had to give me blood and she would have survived. Like, so it's my fault, that she's dead and I'm alive here. So like you could say like that's one thing, and another thing, like she knew that, I guess you could say, like Himiko loved Ochako and Deku both. So you can say that like she probably felt, I don't know, like guilty for like going and interacting with Deku, while like, and like like again, survivor's guilt, I guess you could say. That's why when she started like having more interactions with Deku, when Deku became a hero again with the mecha arm or whatever you call it, she says that the dreams started coming back again with the dreams with Himiko, and she couldn't really figure out what the hell she was saying in the dreams. So it's like it's survivor's guilt, because she started meeting Deku again more. She started feeling guilty again, and the dreams kept coming back. There's also another thing where she says, which I wouldn't be surprised if actually that's what happened, is that the reason why this like the dreams with Himiko frequented so much is because of her blood in her. Like because Himiko's blood is there within her. So part of her, like, it's like, I guess you could say this is more like some sort of like a cellular like memory, like a molecular memory. I don't know what you call it, but this is apparently a thing, like where if you transplant like someone else's heart in you or something like that, it's like it's like their like not memories, I would say, but it's something like this apparently happens, where you kind of see like their stuff and everything. So yeah, maybe something like that. And obviously this is like Himiko like literally gave her blood to her, so I guess that's maybe that as well. All together, her guilt, Himiko's blood, and all these things together, and again meeting with Deku again, this kind of triggered this whole thing within her, and she started seeing dreams of Himiko again, probably kind of she herself holding her back from interacting more because of the guilt, and something like that. But in the end, as you can see, she kind of, when she decided that, I, you know what, let me see if I, like, I barely talked to him today, like, like, let me see. And she waited, she kind of looked back, and that's when she saw Deku coming. It kind of, she kind of like remembered what Himiko said, where, in her dream, Himiko said something along the lines of, like, be happy or something like that. Yeah. So that was like a closure, I guess you could say, for her, for that whole situation. There you go. I want more for you to do whatever you want and more. Like, yeah, like, she's like, I don't want to be a shackle for you, which is, like, what's kind of happening, because she's feeling guilty about the whole thing, and she's like, like, survivor's guilt, basically. Right. And yeah, so there you go. That is why, like, the whole thing was so awkward, where Ochako barely even talked to Deku, even though they had like a whole, like, welcome party or whatever. And Deku was like, I guess you could say, he's, like, he also from himself, like, when Bakugo said that if you, like, say stuff like this, where you love everyone and like everything, that makes, like, what you really love, like, that diminishes that thing's value. Like, loving everything and everyone means you love nobody and no one, like, in a way like this. Like, that's a bit extreme, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, because it means that nobody's special, like, which is also a thing. So here you can see, in the end, I love how Deku, the first thing Deku says to Ochako is like, oh, you know what, I love everybody and everyone, but maybe I want to talk to you more. Where's that part? I want to, wait a minute. Here we go. I respect you all, and you're all special to me. I care about you all. I love how he gives, like, a little, like, introduction, like, oh yeah, by the way, like, yeah, like, like, I love everyone, but, and I thought that was how it would be always be, but today, for some reason, um I wanted to talk with more with you. Yeah, well, that's a extreme roundabout way, but at least he said something. Right. Anyways, so there you go. That was like a good little conclusion, I guess you could say. Um, yeah, but other than that, today's episode basically was like showing, like, what everyone was up to, and what ranks they are, and all that stuff. So, obviously, Ochako's like helping kids, Ochako and Froppy are helping out, like, the kids, and kind of counseling them, helping them out, like, situations, like, where, like, work related situations, like, so that another person like Himiko is not, like, like, created. Like, Himiko's whole thing stemmed from people not understanding her from a very young age. She never would have been a villain if, like, people properly kind of gave attention to her, like, his parents, like, if they gave her, like, a proper, like, like, obviously, like, Himiko had her problems from a kid, like, when she was, like, eating, like, sparrows and all that, but making that a reason to ostracize her, kind of, like, like, shun her, like, children, I guess you cannot really say anything to children, because children are children. They barely, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're kids. They don't have a proper, like, like, morality system or something. They're learning. They're still in the process of learning. So children bullying children, it's inevitable, like, but what is required here is for adults to kind of take control of the situation and make sure that this thing doesn't escalate, which nobody did. Neither the teachers did, nor Himiko's parents did anything about that situation. Even they, even, like, kind of went into more extreme. So that was the problem here. Like, neither was Himiko the problem, nor the children who kind of, like, like, ostracized her. They weren't the problem. They're children. It was the adults that were the problem, and that is why Ochako and Froppy are now in a position where they can see situations like this and take care of situations like this before they are left to escalate into something very bad. Like that's why counseling and queer counseling and all these things. And yeah, and and they're doing that now. You can see, and you can see the top heroes came here to kind of like like do a little bit of tour. Like Lemillion was here, Nejire, Sun Eater. Lemillion is number one, makes sense. So right, and they were having that whole game thing. All right. um then Ochako tells Froppy about the whole Himiko situation, the dreams. Yeah. Now, then we had Deku and everyone kind of going to um the get together. It's funny. This part is pretty funny where Bakugo apparently like debuted at number 4 or something, but then he went down to what, like 44 or something. Oh no, 15. Okay, thank God. Right. That is crazy. So obviously he's he's not that good in front of the cameras, So I guess people as they said, like like yeah, his a few things after that made people probably be like, what the hell, like like, and his popularity dropped. He's foul mouthed enough, just the interview process shattered that image. Wow. Okay, now you can see here Bakugo kind of tells Deku in a roundabout way to join his agency, where he was like, "Oh, like Deku, what about like what are you gonna do now? You got your like new hero thing, so like are you planning on keeping on the teacher job?" And I'll be honest, I also didn't catch in what Bakugo was trying to in a roundabout way trying to imply here. Bakugo was telling him to join his agency. I also it didn't get in through my head either. Like I genuinely thought he was asking like a normal question. Um and Deku was like, yeah, like I want to continue teaching because that is something that I want to do. Even if I had my quirk, even if I had one for all, um yeah, I would have continued this. Like like I'm happy to like save the world with you guys, and at the same time I'm happy imparting my like experience and knowledge to children. So right. Yeah, and this is where Bakugo tells him that like that whole thing where if you think everyone and everything is special, then if you love and like like everyone and everything, then nobody's special in your eyes, which is very true. As you can see, that this thing kind of stuck with Deku, as you can see, and in the end made him gather the courage to talk to Ochako. Right. And then we saw everyone here, like all the heroes, like like Todoroki's number 2. And I'm not going through all the hero rankings, but like everyone's like here and there, like like someone's like 15, someone's like 19, someone's like 22. The only one that has a huge gap is Mineta, because like what happened with Mineta? Why is he so down? 108. Oh, I guess independent agency, right? No. Oh no, 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 never mind. Hypnosis Hero Nighthide. Okay, he's unranked. That's why. Okay, never mind. I don't know what happened with Mineta, but he probably did something weird on camera, so that's why his his ranking dropped. So yeah. Either way, um, yeah, everyone say okay. I want to look at this part. The top heroes, like where they are. So best genius, I think, is number 3. They said. Let me check. So best genius, number 5. Sorry, number 5. Mirko's number 6. Mirko got her. I was gonna say prosthetics, but those aren't prosthetics. Those are freaking weapons. So good lord. And then okay, Mount Lady, I was surprised. I like, yeah, Mount Lady is pretty damn good, but I don't know. I feel like I do wonder why she got such a huge boost. Like I guess maybe we didn't really see much of, like, because I don't know. I like Mount Lady was pretty damn good in her like like things, but I don't know. Like number 3 is extremely high. Like I feel like she would have been like a number 6 or like number 7. Like that would have been, I feel. But number 3 is crazy. Like yeah, but I guess like I don't know, maybe maybe she's like very good at like stopping like villains and everything. Like, she's pretty big, so right. Gang Orca number 21. Gang was way higher, right? Or am I making a mistake? I've forgotten. Kamui Woods number 4 makes sense. Um, then we have Laundry Hero Wash number 8. Death Arms 42. Ryukyu number 40. Present Mike 45. Okay, these guys. So Grand, this is that guy, right? The Deku looking kid. I forgot his name. That the one on the other. Number 20 Turtleneck. I cannot remember these guys. I think they're like from the same. Like I've forgotten. Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith. What? Okay, so Monoma is number 10. He looks like a freaking villain. What the hell is this? Then we have I forgot the girl's name. Battle First. I'm just reading the hero names. And Mudman, number 14. Okay, so Tetsu is like number 26. Lizard is 22. Comic Man 33. Okay, Gale Force. Okay, like that guy. Number 16. Kami is sidekick at Shishikoro's agency, and Shishikoro's is number 41. Okay, so there you go. That's what's going on. Right. Overall, everyone's doing pretty well. Like they're pretty high up in the rankings. They're doing their own job. They're saving the day. Deku obviously didn't have his quirk for quite a while, so he wasn't able to save the day that much. But now he can save the day again. Wait, what number is Deku at? Is he even on the rankings? I don't. Wait a minute. Did they mention it here somewhere? I guess like I don't know. Like he well, obviously he was a hero, but then he stopped being a hero. So I guess maybe he's not in the rankings. But now he started being a hero again. So I'm not sure. Maybe they mentioned it here somewhere and I just missed it. Let me know, because it's very difficult. It is going to be very difficult trying to find it here in like a 23 minutes episode, for where they maybe like mentioned what rank Deku is. Uh, right. Either way, um, yeah. So that's what happened, and then like they went to the get together. Like everyone was like eating and everything, and like and then suddenly the little problem started. Like a little bit of criminal activity. They went out to save the day. All of them. That is crazy. All like the whole class went out to stop those two pesky criminals. That's crazy. Not even all. I guess like not even like crazy ass villains had that much like top heroes going against them. What these two experience. But anyways, in the end, as you can see, like as they were going back home, Deku was thinking about what Bakugo said. Ochako was thinking about like the whole Himiko situation and thinking about Deku, and she was like, okay, let me talk to him. Deku also came back, and this the roundabout way of confessing Deku was like, oh, by the way, I love everyone, but like I want to talk to you especially a little bit more. And I'm like, okay, bro, like right. But you know what, that's a good start, I guess. So yeah, and then when that was happening, like Ochako was like realizing that maybe it's okay to kind of move forward, like instead of trying to shackle myself down because of guilt. And like that in a way was kind of in a personification of like, oh, it's okay to move forward in your life, and like don't feel guilty about this. As a personification of that, Himiko was like, go ahead, like I love you both, you and Deku, so I would want what you want. I wouldn't want you to hold yourself back because of me. So and yeah, and Ochako then moves forward, and she's like, oh, what a coincidence. and then they that's a interesting way to end it. But like I said, it's a good start. Like these two, like they, I don't know, like like both of them are pretty damn awkward. So it's a good start at least. Instead of just not saying anything and going on their own way, they at least took like the step to kind of interact with each other, and they could at least tried his best to kind of like bring out his feelings the best way he could, you know and even if it was like a roundabout way. But this is barely the start of them interacting with each other again. So yeah, and then we see Himiko disappearing. I do wonder if this is like the final time she'll be seeing Himiko in her dreams, because like in a way you could say this is like moving forward. So yeah, like obviously she will definitely remember Himiko for the rest of her life and probably remember her, but like in a dream format like this, maybe this is the final time, because I think like that's what it implies. Like the dream, and like Himiko appearing in her dreams was like a survival skill thing, so, and her kind of thinking like, is it okay for me to be happy, in this situation? And that's why she never took any steps for herself up until now. But now that finally like she gathered that courage and Deku came up and was like, "Oh, I want to talk to you more," like she probably was like, "Okay, maybe it's okay for me to like like move forward with my life, like instead of just holding myself back because of guilt." And that is how like I guess Himiko kind of disappeared, which was like her, like a mental blockade that was kind of stopping her from moving forward with her own life. She was not even thinking about any of these things, like making time for herself, like living life for herself. So yeah, there you go. And that's where it ended. So great ending. I wouldn't call it great ending, but it was a good ending. Like way better than how it concluded in the previous episode. This is a better, way better, like a conclusion, I would say. Yeah, and there you go. That is it. That was the end of My Hero Academia. Like the end, like the end completely. So yeah, I enjoyed it. This was really good. So thanks for watching, guys. This was my reaction to My Hero Academia. More. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next anime reaction. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.